What's up, Tiger Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, your home of the Springfield Tigers each and every week. Week 10 had some great athletes on tonight. Mariana Toscano and Balaam Brungard with volleyball. They played tomorrow night in the district semifinals. Obviously, the Springfield Tigers played the Lowville Rockets. A lot of things we'll talk about with Coach here in a second, Joey Senefani and Cash Richardson. But probably to join again by Coach Guerriero. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, another great night here. Another great Tuesday.
And I got to tell you, but Cash Richardson's a fine young man. I think kind of opens your eyes a little bit. Everybody has struggles and goes through things, but that 5, 6, 7 week journey and have, number one, support from Springfield community big time, but to have players that you get to be around every day that kind of support him and bring him back into the fold as a head coach, that got to make you awful proud.
Well, for us, and you see Cash, that's one thing I love about football. We talk about facing adversity, you know what I mean, and preparing yourself in life. And obviously that hit Cash a little bit early, but to see how had some struggles during doubles, came back for week 1, then I think he took week 2 off, came back for week 3, and just the battling. What a strong individual he is. To be able to, like he talked about battling every day and doing that, and he's just a great kid, and you see the bond with our
phenomenal.
kids that support him and still end up hanging out with them, spending time with them, but an individual, and we talked about this as a team, like you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and for our kids to be able to, when you talk to kids about playing their last play and doing that type of thing, but for the support that our kids have for him, and you said it too, I don't think Cash understands, what he means to our, what importance it is for the football team.
There, he's as important Friday night as any senior that's going to go out there and be a part of senior.
So we talk about that in the battle that he's faced every day. He's a great example and a great role model for our kids on the football team.
Well, shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to Cash, no doubt, his family, and the entire Springfield community and football team. Called the game Friday night with Chris Ziegler. I remember sitting here talking with you. We need to work on our penalties, kind of control the ball, do things offensively. Wow. So solid performance, but I'm sure things you still want to work on. When you go back and watch it, there's probably some things, but talk about what I thought was awesome is the way they came out ready to play. I think that they were ready from the get-go, stopped McDonald's first drive and they were already mentally and physically into the game, but you get a big stop there and you start to see that you could have success offensively doing things you're doing, man. And Sean, it never stopped. You were able to get to the edge. You were able to run it in the middle. Defensively solid against a really good offense that scores quite a bit of points. So after you went back and looked, some of the things that impress you, some of the things that I have to ask, like, how do you build off of a game like that?
Well, you end up seeing that, and I know with our kids, I think by far that was our best, most complete game that we played offensively and defensively, and even with our special teams. You set goals for yourself and things about whether offense not turning the ball over, having 300 total yards, not having any pre-snap penalty, those type of things. We almost check-marked all those offensively and defensively. So to be able to come back, but again, I kind of talked about on Monday, for our kids, it's like, who do we want to compare ourselves to? Who do we want to challenge it? Do we want to? I know, and I'm a person that takes week by week, and we're going to talk about Lowville, and that's who we're focusing on. But let's make sure that we compare ourselves and make sure on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we are, better. We're not at the top of the mountain yet. There's still things that we're doing, and we still got to be able to push the kids, on scheme-wise for us. Offensively and defensively. So if we throw another scheme in or throw another play, it'll keep the kids challenged and motivated in practice. And then we always talk. I think our coaches do a good job of pushing the kids. So if they had 10 first downs, we want to hold them to 5. And if they had, if we only rushed for 200 yards, we want to rush for 300. So I think our kids take that challenge on week by week and do a very good job. And again, it's a new challenge for us. So McDonald was a run-heavy team this week. We're going to see Lowville's going to try.
A good tailback and Perry, obviously, and a good pass game. I wanted to ask you. I thought I was able to watch the Western Reserve game. Saw a little bit of the Mineral Ridge game and actually called this one. the defensive line looks to me like it's getting better each and every week, each and every play. I think you got some great athletes on the back end to go make plays and make big plays, but man, those 4 up front on the D line, I thought against a really big offensive line kind of used our athleticism and kind of took over that game. Is that what you thought?
Well, our kids were definitely in attack mode, and I think over the past 3 or 4 weeks, just our defense in general, running to the football, hitting our stunts, making sure we're gap sound. Coach Slopek really does a good job at challenging those guys and making sure we're doing the little things right. And, man, it's really showing on Friday night. This is the time where you want to be playing your best football. When you're going into weeks, 6, 7, 8, 9, this is where you want to time it up and you want to be, hitting our stride. And I just felt like on Friday our kids definitely capitalized on that, and it was a good night for us to be able to. And I think we were at home. I think our kids were excited. We were on a 3-game road trip. We came back, and you see the crowd and walking out of the locker room and being back home was something that's special to our kids. And it was a great day for the kids. I'm so proud of how they played and how they came out. And the challenge is, will we do it again on Friday?
Yeah, you're right back at it, no question. And offensively, man, boy, Gentile had a great game, but you're starting to get some. I mean, they're each and every week there's more people becoming involved offensively, and I think, I go to Braden Baird, I see him gain confidence every snap on doing things and being the quarterback. But again, the ground game is solid. The offensive line, I think those guys, we've had them all on each and every week, and those guys continue to well. So what are some of the things as you head into Week 10 offensively you want to see this group do?
Well, I think definitely. I think that's something that we pushed for. I thought Kaysen had a couple quality good carries.
Yeah.
Getting the ball out if we went. We didn't throw the ball too much, but Braden was 2 for 2
right.
For a touchdown. He made a nice play on the edge by keeping the play alive. So on that, and then we had, Kaysen's touching the ball. Joey came in and had a great response and ended up rushing the ball. Noah Trogio got in there. Eli Warner. So when you can have different people end up touching the ball, and if we can mix that up, it's really hard. Carson had a couple good carries on Jet. So it just we got to find a way. We got a lot of good athletes, and kind of the hard part at times is trying to get everybody to touch the ball.
Yeah. Fun to get a lot of younger guys in, I'm sure. Get some guys some game time experience in Week 9 and do those types of things. So to get them in, that's a good experience for some of the underclassmen that maybe don't get in a whole lot of games or get a lot of time.
It's always good, and obviously, we love to be able to play everybody on Friday nights, but for some of our kids, and I always tell our kids and our younger kids sometimes, right now I feel like we're we got a pretty good football team, and we're building and we're getting better, but for that I think. It's not easy sometimes to play and be a starter and end up doing. We got a lot of good quality kids that work hard and work year round, and I think for those kids that have done that, it's paid off and they're seeing time. So I really feel good about the direction we're going, and we just got to be able to make sure, like I said, we challenge the kids and being able to come out on Friday night. That's going to be something that we still need to be able to buckle down and focus on Lowville and try to end up winning this thing outright.
Yeah, Week 10. Senior night, a good football team coming to town, an opportunity to win a league championship outright. The goals that kids set, the goals that staff set are all out in front of you. Lowville's a good football team. Talk about some of the things that they create problems with.
Well, offensively, they're going to come out and they're going to give us a lot of different formations, a lot of different personnel.
Is that hard to prepare for?
Well, when you end up talking about it, is because you want to be able to make sure.
You tell me all the time. If you're looking at
well, if you see a lot, you're not seeing a lot. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that we end up focusing on our kids.
That's even more important this week.
That's what you end up doing for us. So they push the ball vertically, which is something that they can do. They can make the big plays, and then with the running game, they can capitalize off of it. So we just need to make sure we're still disciplined in what we're doing. We don't want to do too much. And we got to rally to the football. When we run to the football, good things are going to happen, and that's going to be, for our defense. We just can't make sure. This will be a good challenge because the last team that pushed the ball downfield, it wasn't such a good night. So this will be a good challenge for our secondary. Hopefully those guys up front will put some pressure on the queue. But we just need to be able to go, high point the ball and end up trying to break it up. For us offensively, they come off the ball. I think they're going to stack the box. from what I've seen, on film, and I think they're going to make it hard for us to run, and they're going to try to, bait us into passing the ball, which I think in the past we've showed that we can throw it. Maybe we just don't do it as much, but our ground game right now I think is moving in the right direction, and those same guys up front that are doing it defensively are doing it offensively. I feel like our O-line has progressed and has done a really good job of recreating the line of scrimmage and giving those guys alleys to run in.
Well, there you have it. It's going to be a great football game Friday night. Come on down, check out the game at Tiger Stadium. It's the chance and an opportunity for the Tigers to win the league championship against a very good Louisville team. It's going to be a great game. We will be here next week for the playoff edition of Tigers Table, but I end it every week. The biggest key for the Springfield Tigers to win this league outright is some of the keys to a win on Friday night are pretty much the same thing.
I would say offensively, defensively, the challenge that Louisville brings this week that we haven't seen is actually their special teams. I mean, they do a kickoff thing where they're going to onside it and they're going to try to gain extra possessions, and they do a good job about that. Not a lot of teams do that, so we just need to make sure our special teams game is on their toes and we don't give up any extra possessions for that. So it's something that we put some time in. Coach Popio does a good job with our special teams, and we probably spent an extra 10, 15 minutes today in our practice schedule doing some of those things just to make sure our kids are prepared for them. And you want to see them in those situations where on Friday night it's not like, oh, crap, this is the first time they've seen it.
It's going to be a great game. The atmosphere will be fantastic. A lot of things in store for both football teams as they want to get an ending season victory, and both are right there in the playoff hunt. Best of luck to you. Again, another great night here, no doubt. Some great athletes. I just want to thank you for getting us set up each and every week with getting players and athletes set up for myself and Noah and DJ. And, man, from all of us, best of luck. Have fun, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Steve. Have a good one.